My name is Rachel, and I'm just your average sophomore in college. My dad runs a hospital, my mom is a stay-at-home mom, and my younger brother and sister go to different high schools. So yeah, we're better off than most families, and I think that's a good thing. But even so, our family dynamics are far from ideal. I'll be home late again today, my dad says as he grabs his bag and puts on his shoes. My mom replies, watching him go, "All right, be careful." But dad leaves without even looking at mom's face. This scene has become so routine that none of us, my siblings or me, feel anything anymore. Dad, who seems to live for his work, rarely pays attention to home life. He hardly ever attended school events when I was younger, so we have all kind of given up on him. I think his attitude has been hard on Mom. "I'm heading out too, Mom," I say. "Okay, be careful," she responds. "Yeah, I leave the house as usual, and once I'm out, I feel a slight sense of relief. I'm aware that I might start treating Mom coldly, just like Dad does, especially since Mom tends to worry about me a bit too much. I never felt this way in middle or high school, but since starting college, I've noticed it more. If I'm a bit late coming home from club activities or dinner with friends, or if she can't reach me while I'm at work, she becomes hysterical and blames me. It seems a bit excessive, but maybe Dad's coldness is the reason she's like this." Then one day, tragedy struck our family. "Oh, doctor, are you okay?" Mom was in distress. Dad collapsed suddenly at work. He was examined immediately and had to be admitted to his own hospital. Apparently, it was a temporary episode caused by overwork. Thankfully, with proper rest, he'd be fine. Seeing Dad lying there with his eyes closed, I felt a bit scared. It's not that I didn't believe the attending physician. I understood the diagnosis. Dad is always busy, as we all knew. He was too busy even to look at us. Our family should have known that. But still, when a family member collapses, it's natural to worry. And I think Mom felt the same way. She's been going to the hospital every night since Dad collapsed. "Oh, Rachel, you're home early today," Mom says. "Yeah, one of my classes got canceled." "I see. Your dad was awake just a moment ago, but he's asleep again." Mom says this with a gentle look on her face. But I can see she's clearly exhausted, no wonder. "With all the housework and hospital visits, why don't you go home and rest, Mom? I can stay with Dad. We have leftovers for dinner, so you don't have to worry about that." When I say this, Mom looks a bit surprised and then nods in agreement. "Really? Then maybe I will." "Ah, thank you," she says as she stands up from her chair and reaches for the door to leave the hospital room. But before opening it, she turns back to me and says, "Rachel, make sure you come home before it gets too late, okay?" "I will," I reply, with a slight smile. Mom nods and quickly opens the door so as not to wake Dad, then leaves the room. Mom's really tired, isn't she? I murmur to myself as I sit in the chair Mom was just in, looking at Dad's sleeping face. I never knew he looked like this when he sleeps, but that's understandable. I have never known any other version of Dad than the workaholic who's always busy. When I get home, surprisingly, my sister Natalie is already there. "Hey sis, you just got home." "Yeah, what about you, Natalie? No club activities today?" "Nope. We had a practice match yesterday. So dinner or shower first?" Natalie asks, twirling around in her petite frame. Seeing my cute sister, I feel a bit relieved and say with a small smile, "Let's go for dinner first. Have you eaten yet?" "Yeah, I already ate. Christian is probably still studying at school. He should be back soon, though. It's exactly 7:00 p.m. My brother Christian will probably be home around 7:30 at the earliest." "All right. Change into your loungewear and come to the living room. I prepared my special menu for today. Didn't we have leftovers from yesterday?" "Yeah, but it felt a bit bland, so I made some salad and soup too." The table is set with yesterday's leftovers along with freshly made salad and soup. "Thanks, Natalie. It's delicious," I say with a slightly relaxed tone. Natalie washes the dishes with a slightly shy smile. "Where's Mom?" "She already went to bed. Didn't even have dinner. Is she not feeling well? I don't know. She was already asleep in her room when I got home. And there were no dinner dishes, so I guess she didn't eat. She must be really tired, I say, looking down at my dinner, searching for the right words. Then Natalie speaks up with a somewhat serious tone. Ah, hey sis. Yeah, what's up? Don't you think Mom's been acting a bit strange lately? Do you think so? As I'm about to respond, Natalie, who has finished washing the dishes, sits down and continues. I mean, she is visiting Dad way too much. I get that she's worried, but he collapsed from overwork. She doesn't have to go every day. Isn't that a bit excessive? Well, that's just Mom being overly concerned, I start to say, searching for the right words to follow. But Natalie interrupts. I actually saw what was in Mom's bag when she was going to visit Dad the other day. And guess what I found? She places something on the table that she took out of her pocket. What is this? A few days later, after my college classes are all done, my mobile phone rings. It's Mom's number on the display. Hello, what's up? I answer. Rachel. Mom? She hesitates with a shaky voice, as if she's on the verge of hyperventilating. Mom tells me that Dad has passed away. Upon hearing this, I cancel all my plans and head to the hospital. When I arrive, I go to the room where Dad had been sleeping and open the door. Inside, the attending physician, the nurse in charge, and Mom are all looking down at Dad, who has his eyes closed. Noticing me, the attending physician speaks up. We're still investigating the details. This morning, the nurse noticed something was off when checking on him, despite our best efforts. As he says this, both the attending physician and the nurse bow their heads to Mom and me, tears in their eyes. Hearing these words, Mom clings to Dad's lifeless body, crying. I just keep looking at Dad's face, which looks as peaceful as if he's sleeping. After a while, my sister and brother arrive, both too shocked to speak or cry. Listening to the doctor's explanation with a surprisingly calm demeanor at the funeral that soon follows, a variety of people, including Dad's relatives, attend. I'm surprised at how many people show up, likely because Dad had been the director of the hospital. It feels like all these people had been a part of Dad's life. Sometime after the funeral, several of Dad's colleagues, a lawyer, and some relatives visit our home to discuss the inheritance. I happen to be home because my college classes are canceled, so although I'm not keen on it, I join Mom for the discussion. The conversation is very subdued, mainly focusing on legal matters regarding the inheritance. In this solemn atmosphere, Mom says, "My husband passed away peacefully. We will use his inheritance wisely." The room falls silent for a moment, but then all of Dad's colleagues burst into inappropriate laughter. Both Mom and I are at a loss for words. After the laughter subsides, one of Dad's colleagues speaks up. I apologize for the laughter. It's just that what you said was so absurd. It made me laugh in indignation. What? So you actually believe you're entitled to his inheritance? That's what was so funny. The colleague looks at Mom with a calm gaze, confused. Mom replies sharply, "What are you talking about? Of course I am. I am his wife, and he died from overwork." The colleague retorts, "Here, quite the actress, aren't you?" Mom glares at him, but then the colleague continues, "What I'm saying is exactly what it sounds like, ma'am. Did you think we wouldn't notice? Be honest. What did you put in his IV?" Mom is at a loss for words as another colleague speaks up. "What I'm saying is exactly what it sounds like, ma'am. Did you think we wouldn't notice? Be honest. What did you put in his IV?" "What I'm saying is exactly what it sounds like, ma'am. Did you think we wouldn't notice? Be honest. What did you put in his IV?" At this point, Mom raises her voice hysterically. "Don't be ridiculous. Do you have any proof that I did such a thing?" "We do have proof," the colleague says, placing a plastic syringe next to the sports drink bottle. "Huh. This syringe was found in the waiting room's trash can along with the bottle on the morning he passed away. But we medical professionals would never dispose of a used syringe in a regular trash can." He glares at Mom and continues, "Your fingerprints and the sports drink's ingredients were found on the syringe, And your fingerprints were also found on his IV, so you definitely tampered with it. As they say this, I stare at Mom. She can't say anything in response. Her silence is an admission of guilt. That day, Mom is taken away by the police. A few days later, I visit someone. Rachel, are you sure about this? The colleague asks. Yes, thank you for everything, I replied, bowing deeply to him. I was the one who tipped him off about the syringe. He had carefully investigated everything after the funeral. If it weren't for the janitor telling me about the syringe, I wouldn't have known either. But I feel guilty for taking your mother away from you, the colleague says remorsefully. It's okay. The mom at that time was no longer our mom, I explained, bowing again. I could only think of Mom, who had shed fake tears at the funeral, as a stranger. Now my siblings and I are living with our paternal grandfather. I hope to have a real family this time. Later, I visit Mom once to ask her why she did it. Then, Mom, why? I inquire. It's obvious. If everything had gone as planned, all of his inheritance would have been mine. I have been enduring and pretending all this time, Mom mutters to herself, clearly unhinged. Seeing her like this confirmed that her tears, words, and actions had all been lies. I realized she could never be part of the family again. Now my siblings and I are living with our paternal grandfather. I hope to have a real family this time.